She considered the concierge. "How long have you worked here?" 6 years. I don't suppose you know anything about this apartment? Or my grandmother, Estelle Allard?" Celeste shook her head. "I'm sorry, I don't. While I'm familiar with most of the tenants in the building, in truth, I had no idea who owned this apartment, only that it's been unoccupied since I started." On impulse, Leah jammed the packet of paper under her arm and unzipped her portfolio bag. From inside, she withdrew a small painting about the size of a legal document. It was a vivid, if somewhat clumsy, painting of a manor house, surrounded by clumps of emerald trees and silhouetted against a cobalt sky. Along with the key to this apartment, the painting had been the only other thing her grandmother had specifically left her. "What about the name Seymour? William Seymour? Does that sound familiar?" Leah asked, holding the painting toward Celeste. Celeste shook her head again. "No. May I ask who he was?" "No clue, other than the artist who signed this painting." "Oh." Celeste looked intrigued. "Were you thinking that he was once a tenant here?" "I have no idea," Leah sighed, sliding the little painting back into her bag. She hadn't really expected an answer, but she had nothing to lose by asking. "I can check the building's records for you, if you like," Celeste offered. "We have archives going back a lot of years. If a William Seymour lived here at one point in time, I might be able to find out." Leah was touched by the kindness of the offer. "No, that's all right." She didn't want to waste this woman's time, at least until she had done a little research of her own. "Sure, but if you reconsider, just let me know." "Thank you. I will." Celeste seemed to hesitate. "Are you planning to live here?" she finally asked. Leah opened her mouth to answer, and then closed it. The simple answer was yes, at least temporarily. But beyond temporarily? Leah had no simple answer for that. "None of my business." The woman ducked her head. "Sorry." "Don't be," Leah smiled. "I haven't made a decision yet." "I hope you stay," Celeste said sincerely. "It would be nice to have—" The sound of a lock being released, accompanied by a brief torrent of hysterical barking, made Leah turn. An elderly woman emerged from the apartment across the landing and shuffled toward her. A small bundle of writhing white fur was clamped under one arm, a pointy cane clutched in her other hand. She was dressed like a model from a mid-century American advert peddling soap or vacuums, in a wide-skirted floral dress with a pinched waist and a string of heavy pearls at her throat. Her white hair was curled around a liberally powdered face, her lipstick an angry crimson. Colour had bled into the deep lines that tracked outward from her lips, and the whole effect was rather macabre. Unbidden, Aurelia could almost hear Grand-Mère Tisk in disapproval. "One should never notice your cosmetics, Leah, unless, of course, you only wish to be noticed, but not seen." At the time, an adolescent, lip-gloss-loving Leah remembered being annoyed by the cryptic, critical comment. Now, Leah couldn't say Grand-Mère had been wrong. Leah's neighbour was now shuffling across the marble floor, her eyes fixed beyond Leah at the tall, nude painting propped up inside the apartment and visible in the meagre light. She looked as shocked as Leah had felt when she had first opened the door, though that shock was fading into clear condemnation. Leah pasted on a smile and stepped more fully into her doorway, blocking the view inside. The woman scowled and craned her neck, trying to peer past. "Good afternoon," Leah said politely, her ingrained boarding school manners demanding that she make some sort of greeting. In